Hi students, in this video session we will be discussing binomial distribution, which is from module 2 of the paper Quantitative Methods for Economic Analysis 2, second semester MA Economics, Calicut University. So, what is binomial distribution? We know that distributions are two types, discrete and continuous. In this case, binomial distribution is a discrete distribution. We know that every random variable is associated with every distribution is associated with a random variable, and if the random variable is discrete, then the corresponding distribution is discrete, and if the random variable is continuous, then the corresponding distribution is continuous distribution. Now, what is the situation where this distribution can be applied? To understand this, let us start with a question. The question is, what is the probability of getting two heads when a coin is tossed 3 times? So, the question is, in this problem we have to find the probability of getting two heads when a coin is tossed 3 times. That means our experiment is tossing a coin 3 times. While tossing a coin, we have two options, either head or tail. Now, we are repeating this experiment 3 times. Now, we have to find the probability of two heads. So, how many heads we can expect? We can get 0 head, that means 1 head, all the outcomes are tails. Then 1 head, that means 1 head and 2 tails. Then 2 heads, that means 2 heads and 1 tail, and 3 heads, that means all the outputs are heads. So, we can expect 0 head or 1 head or 2 head or 3 head, maximum 3 head. So, this type of problem can be handled with the help of binomial distribution. So, in the later slides we will answer to this question. So, before going to the details of binomial distribution, let us revise some basic concepts. So, first one is random experiment. What is random experiment? In a random experiment, we cannot predict the outcomes. So, a random experiment has at least 2 or more outcomes, and the outcomes are unpredictable. So, this type of experiments are called random experiment. That means the outcomes are random. Now, next concept is sample space. Sample space means, sample space is a set. The definition is set of all possible outcomes of a random experiment is called sample space. That means, suppose the random experiment is tossing a coin, then we have 2 outcomes, possible outcomes, head and tail. Then if you write this sample space in a set form, suppose the set is S equal to set HT, H means head and T means tail, then this is a sample space. So, sample space is the set of all possible outcomes of a random experiment. Then next concept is event. What is event? Event is just the subset of sample space. So, we are defining probabilities for events, not for sets. The next concept is random variable. Random variable is defined as a function from sample space to set of real numbers. That means a random variable assumes real values, that is values from minus infinity to plus infinity. The domain set is sample space and the range set is random variable. So, random variable is an important concept, and we are defining distributions for values of random variables. And random variables are 2 types, discrete and continuous. In this case, in the case of binomial distribution, our random variable is a discrete. That means it assumes some values, discrete values, and assign probabilities to these discrete values. So, next important concept is probability mass function. So, probability mass function is distribution of a discrete random variable. For example, suppose x is a random variable assuming 3 values 1, 2, 3, with the corresponding probabilities, we define it as P of 1, P of 2, P of 3. Then these values satisfy two conditions. First condition is all the values are, probabilities are non-negative. That means greater than or equal to 0, non-negative, equal to 0 or greater than 0. Second condition is sum of these probabilities 1. Then this distribution is said to be probability mass function. So these are the basic concepts that we already discussed in the first module. Then coming back to binomial distribution. So as I already mentioned, binomial is a discrete distribution. Now where is the situation where binomial distribution can be applied? Binomial distribution can be applied under these four conditions. First condition is the random experiment has only two outcomes called success and failure. So we have an experiment and it has only two outcomes. We term it as first one is success and second one is failure. So the experiment has only two outcomes. Now the second condition is the experiment is repeated finite number of times. So we have an experiment with two outcomes, with the two possible outcomes. Then we repeat this experiment a finite number of times, for example 10. Then we repeat the experiment 10 times. Then next condition is probability for success in a single trial remains constant. Now as I mentioned, we are repeating the experiment a number of times, and with the assumption that probability of getting success is constant or remains constant in every trials. Last condition is trials are independent. Trials are independent means the results or outcome of the previous trials should not influence the coming trials. So these are the conditions. So what are the conditions? First, the experiment has two outcomes. We term it as success and failure. Now we repeat this experiment a finite number of times, say 10. Then next assumption is the probability of success. So automatically the probability of failure remains constant in every trials, each and every trials. Last conditions are every trials are independent. So these are the conditions, and under these conditions we can apply, under this situation we can apply binomial distribution. First example is in tossing a coin there are two events, head and tail. One of them is a success and other is a failure. So this is an example to binomial distribution case. Here our experiment is tossing a coin. Then we have two options, head and tail. We can term head as success and tail as failure. That is our choice. Then we repeat this experiment a finite number of times. So this is an example to binomial experiment, random experiment. Another case example is throwing a die. We know that a dice has 6 faces, 1 to 6 faces. Then while throwing we get either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. So we divide this into two outcomes. First outcome is getting a 6. So getting a 6 is defined as success, and not getting 6, that means getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 termed as failure. So if we get 1, then it is failure. If we get 6, then it is success. So this is also a binomial random experiment. Now in binomial distribution our random variable is defined as x equal to number of success out of n trials. So in binomial distribution x represents number of success out of n trials. So how many success we can expect? We can get 0 success, that means all the outputs are failures. Then 1 success, that means 1 success and rest of the n minus 1 trials are resulted in failures, etc. We can expect n success, that means all the trials resulted in success. So x assume values between 0 to n, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. up to n. Now this is the formal definition of probability mass function of binomial distribution. The definition is a random variable is said to follow binomial distribution with parameters n and p if its probability mass function is P of x equal to NCx P raised to x Q raised to n minus x, comma x equal to 0, 1 to etc. n and equal to 0 otherwise. 0 less than P less than 1, Q equal to 1 minus P. Here we know that binomial distribution is a discrete distribution. So, the random variable assume some discrete values. In this case, x assume values 0, 1, 2, etc. n. That is, it assumes n plus 1 values. Values are 0, 1, 2, etc. n. Now, what is the probability of 0? Probability of 0 is obtained by substituting x equal to 0 in this equation. So, P of 0 is the probability of x equal to 0, which is NC0 P raised to 0 Q raised to n minus 0. Similarly, probability of 1 is P of 1 equal to NC1 P raised to 1 Q raised to n minus 1. Here NCx is binomial combination. NCx is binomial combination. The definition is n factorial divided by x factorial into n minus x factorial. Now, what is P? P is actually probability of success and Q is 1 minus P. Q is actually probability of failure. So, n is number of trials, P is probability of success, Q is 1 minus P, which is probability of failure. So, the definition of probability mass function is P of x equal to NCx P raised to x Q raised to n minus x takes values 0, 1 to etc. n. So, the probabilities are defined in a functional form and n and p are said to be the parameters. So, here constant is n and p are said to be the parameters. Values of p is from 0 to 1 and q is 1 minus p. And we represent a binomial distribution as x follows b for binomial, then n comma p. N is number of trials and p is probability of success. For example, if n equal to 5 and p equal to 1 by 3, then x follows b binomial 5 comma 1 by 3. So, this is the example, this is the definition of probability mass function. Using this function we can find the probabilities of each and every values of random variable x. Now, this is our previous question. What is the probability of getting 2 heads when a coin is tossed 3 times? So, the answer is P of 2 equal to 3 by 2. In this problem, this experiment satisfies all the 4 conditions. First is that we are tossing a coin 3 times. So, we have the experiment is tossing of a coin. Then it has 2 outcomes. So, first condition is it has 2 outcomes, head or tail. Then second condition is repeat the experiment a finite number of times. Here we are repeating the experiment 3 times. So, n equal to 3. Now, probability of head is same as in every trials. So, probability of success remains in each and every trials for third condition satisfied. Last condition is all the trials are independent. So, we are assuming the coin is unbiased. So, result of first toss should not influence the result of coming trials. The fourth condition also satisfied here. So, this is a binomial distribution with the number of tries equal to 3 and probability of success. What is probability of success? Here head is our success and tail is our failure. So, probability of success means probability of head. Probability of head is, since the coin is unbiased, therefore, probability of head is 1 by 2, which is same as probability of tail. So, p equal to 1 by 2, n equal to 3, and this experiment satisfies the 4 conditions for a binomial distribution. Therefore, we can answer this question using binomial distribution. Here we have to find the probability of getting 2 heads, that means x equal to 2. Therefore, p of 2 equal to n is 3, NCx, x is 2, NCx, then p raised to x. So, this is our NCx, or n is 3, x is 2, then p is 1 by 2, 1 by 2 raised to 2. What is q? Q is 1 minus 1 by 2, that is again 1 by 2 raised to 3 minus 2. So, NCx 3c2, p raised to x 1 by 2 raised to x, and q is again 1 by 2 raised to n minus x. N minus x is 3 minus 2. What is 3c2? 3c2 is 3. 3 factorial divided by 2 factorial into 3 minus 2 factorial. So, 3c2 is 3. 1 by 2 whole square is 1 by 4. 1 by 2 raised to 3 minus 2 is 1. So, 1 by 2 raised to 1 is 1 by 2. Then the final answer is 3 by 2. So, this is the value of the probability of getting 2 heads. We can simply solve using. So, this obtained using the functional form of binomial distribution. So, this question we can calculate directly without using binomial distribution. So, in this case our random experiment is tossing 3 coins at a time. So, the sample space is, so what are the options, what are the outcomes? Outcomes are HHH or HTT, THT, etc., TTT. So, HHH means all the outcomes are heads. HTT means first outcome is head, then second one is tail, third one is tail, etc. So, these are the possible cases of getting the outputs, possible cases of the outcomes. Now, we define random variable x equal to number of heads out of 3 tosses. So, x defines the number of heads. So, x assume values 0, 1, 2, 3. So, x equal to 0 means 0 head, that is all the outcomes are tails. X equal to 1 means 1 head, that means 1 head and 2 tails. So, for that 3 cases are available, first head and last 2 tails, or first tail then head then tail, or first 2 outcomes are tails then last one is head. So, these are the 3 cases, and x equal to 2 means 2 heads and 1 tail. X equal to 2 means HHT, that means first 2 heads then last tail, or HTH, that means first head then tail then head, or THH. So, 3 cases, in these 3 cases we get x equal to 2, that is number of heads equal to 2. Now, what is the probability of HHT? Probability of HHT is probability of getting head then tail. So, we know that probability of head is 1 by 2 and probability of tail is 1 by 2. Therefore, probability of HHT is, probability of head is 1 by 2 into 1 by 2, again probability of head into probability of tail, that is again 1 by 2. So, 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 is 1 by 2. Therefore, probability of x equal to is, we have 3 cases and probability is 1 by 2 for each cases. Therefore, sum these probabilities 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2, you will get 3 by 2. So, this is the probability of getting 2 heads, P of x equal to 2 equal to 3 by 8, same answer in the using binomial distribution. So, this is very difficult, because if we toss instead of 3, suppose n equal to 25 and x equal to 15 or 16, then it is very difficult to get these values directly. In this case, you can use binomial distribution. Now, P of x is, this is an example. Suppose x follows binomial n is 5 and p is 1 by 3. Then P of x is, here n is 5, therefore NCX means 5Cx, and p is 1 by 3, p is 1 by 3, therefore p raised to x is 1 by 3 raised to x. And what is q? Q is 1 minus 1 by 3, 1 minus 1 by 3 is 2 by 3, therefore q raised to n minus x, 2 by 3 raised to 5 minus x, n is 5. So, by substituting the values of x, we can find the probabilities, that I will show in blackboard. The question is, x is binomial with n equal to 5 and p is 1 by 3, that is n is 5 and p is 1 by 3. Now, we know that the probability mass function of binomial distribution is P of x equal to NCX p raised to x q raised to n minus x equal to 0, 1, 2, etc. n, and equal to 0 otherwise. So, in this case n is 5 and p is 1 by 3. Now, what is q? Q is 1 minus p, that is 1 minus 1 by 3, this is 2 by 3, 3 minus 1 by 3, that is 2 by 3. Therefore, our density becomes p of x equal to n is 5, therefore 5 Cx, p is 1 by 3, p is 1 by 3 raised to x, that is raised to x, and q is 2 by 3. So, 2 by 3 raised to 2 by 3 raised to n minus x. What is n? N is 5 minus x, x equal to 0, 1, 2, etc. up to n. In this case n is 5. Therefore, what is p of 0? P of 0 is, substitute x equal to 0. Therefore, 5 C 0, then 1 by 3 raised to 0, then 2 by 3 raised to 5 minus 0, 5 minus 0, which is equal to, now what is 5 C 0? 5 C 0 is 1, since n C 0 is always 1. Therefore, 5 C 0 is 1 into 1 by 3 raised to 0. So, power of a value is, power to this power 0 is always 1. So, 1 by 3 raised to 0 is 1 into 2 by 3 raised to 5 minus 0. 5 minus 0 is 5. Therefore, 2 raised to 2 by 3 raised to 5 equal to 1 into 1 is 1 into 2 by 3 whole raised to 5, that is 2 raised to 5 divided by 3 raised to 5. So, you can stop at this point, or you can calculate 2 raised to 5 and 3 raised to 5. What is 2 raised to 5? 2 raised to 5 is 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. So, 3 times. Now, what is 2 into 2 is 4 into 2 8, 16 into 2, therefore, this is equal to 32. Now, what is 3 raised to 5? 3 raised to 5 is 3 into 3 into 3 into 3 into 3, 5 times 3, 5. So, 3 into 3 is 9, this is 9, 3 into 3 is 9 into 3. Now, 9 into 9 is 81 into 3, 3 into 81 is 243, 3 into 1 is 3, 3 into 8 is 24, 243. So, this is 2 raised to 5 is 32, 32 divided by 243. So, P of 0 is 32 divided by 243. So, P of 0 is 32 by 243. Write the probability distribution in a table form. X is 0. Now, what is x? This is P of x. Therefore, the value is 32 divided by 243. So, this is the first value. Now, find P of 1. What is P of 1? P of 1 is, here x is 1, therefore, 5 C 1, 1 by 3 raised to 1, 2 by 3 raised to 5 minus 1. This is, now what is 5 C 1? 5 C 1 is 5, 5 C 1 is 1, because n C 1 is always n. Therefore, 5 C 1 is 5 into 1 by 3 raised to 1, that is 1 by 3. 1 by 3 raised to 1 is 1 by 3. 2 by 3 raised to 5 minus 1. Therefore, this is 4. 2 by 3 raised to 4 equal to 5 into 1 by 3 into 2 by 3 whole raised to 4 is 2 raised to 4 divided by 3 raised to 4. 5 into 3 into 3 raised to 4 is 3 raised to 5, 2 raised to 4. Therefore, 5 into 2 raised to 4 divided by 3 raised to 5. Now, this is equal to 5 into 2 raised to 4 divided by 3 raised to 5 equal to, now what is 3 raised to 5? 3 raised to 5 is 243. Therefore, this is 243. Now, what is 2 raised to 4? 2 raised to 4 is 16. 2 raised to 4 is 2 into 2, 4 is, this is 4 into 4, 16. Then 5 into 16. This is equal to, what is 5 into 6? 5 into 10, then 6. Therefore, 80. 80 divided by 243. Therefore, P of 1 is 80 by 243. So, this is 80 by 243. Then, therefore, next one is P of 2. P of 2 is, here x equal to 2. Therefore, 5C2 1 by 3 raised to 2, 2 by 3 raised to 5 minus 2. That is, what is 5C2? 5C2 is, we know that NCX is n factorial x factorial into n minus factorial. Therefore, 5C2 is, by definition, it is 5 factorial 2 factorial into 5 minus 2 factorial, 5 minus 2 factorial. This is equal to 5 factorial 2 factorial, 5 minus 2 is 3 factorial. Now, what is this? 5 factorial is 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. 2 factorial is 1 into 2 into 3 factorial is 1 into 2 into 3. So, this is equal to, here 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 cancel. Then 2 is here, 4. Therefore, 2 into 5 is 10. Therefore, 5C2 equal to 10. So, you can use another method. 5C2 is, here n is 5 and x is 2. So, this is 2. Therefore, you can write 2 terms. Last term is 5 and previous one is 4. Then 1 into 2. Therefore, 4 into 5 divided by 1 into 2. Then this is 2. 2 into 5 is 10. These are equal. So, this is the simplest method. Therefore, 5C2 is 10 into 1 by 3 raised to 2. So, 1 by 3 square, 1 by 3 square into 2 by 3 raised to 5 minus 2. Therefore, 2 by 3 raised to 5 minus 2 is 3. That is 10 into 1 by 3 square into 2 raised to 3 divided by 3 raised to 3. This is equal to 10 into 2 raised to 3 is 8. 3 square, this is 3 raised to 2 into 3 raised to 3, that is 3 raised to 5. 3 raised to 2 into 3 raised to 2. So, x raised to m into x raised to n is x raised to m plus n, that is 2 plus 3 is 5. This is equal to 10 into 8 is 80 divided by, what is 3 raised to 5? 3 raised to 5 is 243. So, this is 80 by 243. So, P of 2 is 80 divided by 243. Now, next one is P of 3. P of 3. P of 3 is 5C3 1 by 3 raised to 3, 2 by 3 raised to 5 minus 3. This is, now what is 5C3? 5C3 is, again use the simplest method. Write 5 then previous one, then 3. So 1, 2, 3, then 1 into 2 into 3 equal to 3 cancelled and 2 simplified, 2 and 4, therefore 2, 5 is 10. 5C3 is 10. Therefore, this is 10. Then 1 by 3 whole raised to 3 is 1 raised to 3 is 1, 3 raised to 3 is 3 raised to 3. Now 2 by 3 raised to 5 minus 3, 5 minus 3 is 2, then 2 raised to 2 divided by 3 raised to 2. 2 by 3 whole raised to 2 is 2 raised to 2 divided by 3 raised to 2. Again, then 10 into 2 raised to 2 is 4 divided by 3 raised to 3 into 3 raised to 2 is 3 raised to 5. This is equal to 4 into 10 is 40 divided by 3 raised to 5 is 243. Therefore, this is 40 divided by 243. Now, next one is P of 4. This is 5C4 1 by 3 raised to 4 into 2 by 3 raised to 5 minus 4 equal to, now what is 5C4? 5C4 is 5 because 5C4 and 5C1 are equal. Now what is 5C1? 5C1 is 5, therefore 5C4 also 1. We use this result. NCX is same as NC n minus x. So 5, n is 5, x is 4 is same as 5 and n minus x, that is 5 minus 4. 5 minus 4 is 1. So 5C1 is 5 same as 5C4, or you can use this definition 5 factorial 4 factorial into 5 minus 4 factorial, then also you will get 5. So 5C4 is 5. Then 1 by 3 whole raised to 4 is 1 raised to 4 is 1, 3 raised to 4 is 3 raised to 4 into 2 by 3 raised to 5 minus 4 is 1. Therefore, 2 by 3 whole raised to 1 is 2 raised to 1 divided by 3 raised to 1. This is equal to 5 into 1 into 2. Therefore, 5 into 1 into 2 is 10. 3 raised to 4 into 3 raised to 1, that is 3 raised to 4 plus 1, that is 5, 3 raised to 5 equal to 10 raised to, what is 3 raised to 5? 3 raised to 5 is 243. 3 raised to 5 is 243. Therefore, this is P of 4. P of 4 is 10 by 243. Now, last one is P of 5. P of 5 is x equal to 5. Therefore, 5C 5 x equal to 5, 1 by 3 raised to 5, 5, 1 by 3 raised to x equal to 5 into 2 by 3 raised to 5 minus x, x is 5, therefore 5 minus 5, 5 minus 5. This is, now what is 5C5? 5C5 is 1 because NCn is always 1. Therefore, n is 5, 5C5 is 1. So, this is 1. Then 1 by 3 whole raised to 5 is 1 raised to 5 is 1, 3 raised to 5 is 3 raised to 5. Then 2 by 3 raised to, what is 5 minus 5? 5 minus 5 is 0. This is 0. So, 2 by 3 whole raised to 0. This is 1 into 1 by 3 raised to 5 into, now what is 2 by 3 whole raised to 0? Whole raised to 0 is 1. So, power 0 means value equal to 1. Therefore, 1 into 1 into 1, that is 1 divided by 3 raised to 5 is again 243. This is 243. So, P of phi is 1 by 243. This is 1 by 243. Therefore, the total value is 32 plus 80 plus 80 plus 40 plus 10 plus 1. So, you will get 243 divided by 243. So, in this way you can find probabilities of binomial distribution by substituting n values for n and values for p. Then we can present these values or this distribution in a tabular form. Therefore, x takes values 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because n is 5 and probabilities p of x is 32 by 243, 80 by 243, 80 by 243, 40 by 243, 10 by 243 and 1 by 243. So, the total probability is 1 and the graphical representation of this distribution is in this form. Here first bin is 32 by 243, second bin is 80 by 243, then 80 by 243, the last one is 1 by 243. This is another example. In this case, n is 5, same as in the earlier example. Here p is 1 by 2, that is p and q are equal. Therefore, p of x is 5cx, p raised to x, that is 1 by 2 raised to x, then q is again 1 by 2 raised to 5 minus x. The probabilities are p of 0 is 5c0, 1 by 2 raised to 0, 1 by 2 raised to 5 minus 0. We know that 5c0 is 1, then 1 by 2 raised to 0 is again 1, then 1 by 2 raised to 5 is 1 by 2 raised to 5 equal to 1 by 32. Similarly, p of 1 is 5c1, 1 by 2 raised to 1, 1 by 2 raised to 5 minus 1. 5c1 is 5, 1 by 2 raised to 1 is 1 by 2, then 1 by 2 raised to 5 minus 1 is 1 by 2 raised to 4 equal to final value is 5 by 32. Then p of 2 is 10 by 32, p of 3 is again 10 by 32, p of 4 is 5 by 32 and p of 5 is 1 by 32. So, the graphical representation, the tabular form is x values of x's are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and probability is 1 by 32, 5 by 32, 10 by 32, 10 by 32, 5 by 32 and 1 by 32. Total probability is 1 and the graphical representation of this distribution is in this form. So, the difference between this and this question is, here the graph is not symmetric, but in this case the graph is a symmetric form. The reason is that probability of success is probability of failure, or probability of head is probability of tail, or p equal to 1 by 2. Therefore, the values of p of 0 which is 1 by 30 is same as probability of 5, 1 by 30. Probability of 1, p of 1 is 5 by 30 which is same as p of 4, that is 5 by 32. So, if p equal to q, the distribution, binomial distribution is symmetric. Now, mean and variance. So, this is very important, you should remember what is the mean. Mean is NP and variance is NPQ. So, this is very useful while calculating some problems in binomial distribution. Example, suppose x is binomial with n is 3 and p is 1 by 3. So, in this case mean is NP that is equal to 3 into 1 by 3, that is equal to 1. So, mean is NP, that is 3 into 1 by 3 equal to 1. Now, what is variance? Variance is NPQ, n into n is 3, p is 1 by 3 and what is q? Q is 1 minus p. Here p is 1 by 3, therefore 1 minus 1 by 3 is 2 by 3. So, the final answer is 2 by 3. So, mean is 1 and variance is 1 by 3. So, this is very important result. Mean is NP and variance is NPQ. Now, let us discuss one problem. The question is 8 coins tossed simultaneously. Find the probability of getting exactly 4 heads. In this case, our experiment is tossing 8 coins simultaneously. So 8 coins simultaneously means 1 coin 8 times, and the coin is unbiased. Now we have to find the probability of getting exactly 4 heads. So in this case, number of trials equal to 8, therefore n equal to 8. Now what is success? Success is head. Therefore probability of success means probability of getting a head in a toss. Therefore P equal to, we know that the coin is unbiased, therefore probability of head equal to 1 by 2. Then find Q. Q is 1 minus P equal to 1 minus 1 by 2 equal to 1 by 2. So n equal to 8 and P equal to 1 by 2. Q equal to again 1 by 2. Therefore this the distribution of x, what is x? X is number of heads, follows binomial with parameters 8 and 1 by 2. Therefore the density is, or probability mass function is, P of x equal to NCx, that is 8Cx, 1 by 2 raised to x, that is P raised to x, then Q raised to n minus x. Q is 1 by 2, therefore 1 by 2 raised to n minus x, that is 8 minus x. So this is the probability mass function. In this case, P of x equal to 8Cx, 1 by 2 raised to x, 1 by 2 raised to n minus x. Now we have to find P of 4 because x equal to 4. So probability of exactly 4 head means probability of x equal to 4. Exactly means equal to. P of x equal to 4. To get this value, this probability, just substitute x equal to 4 in this equation, in this PMF. Therefore 8Cx, NCx means 8C4, 1 by 2 raised to 4 into 1 by 2 raised to 8 minus 4. Now 8C4 into 1 by 2 raised to 4 into 1 by 2 raised to 8 minus 4 is 4 equal to 8C4, 1 by 2 raised to 4 into 1 by 2 raised to 4 equal to, now what is 8C4? 8C4 is 70. That is 8 factorial divided by 4 factorial into 8 minus 4 factorial. You will get 8C4 equal to 70. Then 1 by 2 raised to 4 is 16. Therefore 1 by 16 into same value 1 by 16. The final answer is 70 by 256. So in this problem, x equal to 4, that is we have to find the probability of x equal to 4, and this problem is a random experiment, is a binomial case. So our aim is find n equal to, find the n and p, then just substitute x equal to 4. So you will get 70 by 256. So probability of exactly 4 heads equal to 70 by 256. This is a problem in binomial distribution that can be solved with the help of mean and variance. The question is, find the binomial distribution with the mean 3 and variance 2. So in this case, mean and variance are given. Mean is 3 and variance 2. We have to find the distribution. That means we have to find the P of x. So that I will show in blackboard. So this is our question. Find the binomial distribution with mean 3 and variance 2. So in this question, we have to find the binomial distribution, given that mean is 3 and variance is 2. So find binomial distribution means we have to find P of x, P of x of binomial distribution. So first, given that the distribution is binomial, so we assume our random variable follows binomial with parameters p, n and p. So find n and p, then substitute these values in p of x. What is the probability mass function of binomial distribution? This is NCX p raised to x q raised to n minus x, x equal to 0, 1, 2, etc. n. So, our aim is find n and p, given mean 3 and variance 2. Now, we know that for a binomial distribution with the parameters n and p, mean is np and variance is npq. What is q? Q is 1 minus p. Now, in this question, mean is 3 and variance is 2. So, substitute mean equal to 3 and variance equal to 2. That is, mean is 3, that is n3 is equal to np and variance is 2, 2 is npq. Now, our aim is find n and p using this equation. For that, we divide npq by np. What is npq? Npq is variance and mean is np. So, variance divided by mean is npq divided by mean is np. Now, what is variance? Variance is 2, therefore, variance is 2, mean is 3. Therefore, 2 by 3 is variance divided by mean, that is npq divided by np. Now, what is npq divided by np? We cancel np, therefore, remaining term is q, that is q. Therefore, q is equal to 2 by 3, that is q is 2 by 3. Now, we know that q is 1 minus p, that is 1 minus p is 2 by 3. Therefore, what is p? So, for that p to the left, so this becomes plus p. Here already 2 by 3. So, 1 is 2 by 3 plus p. So, 1 equal to 2 by 3 plus p. Therefore, p is equal to 2 by 3 to the left. Therefore, 1 minus 2 by 3, that is p equal to, what is 1 minus 2 by 3? 1 minus 2 by 3 is 3 into 1, 3 minus 2 divided by 3, that is 1 by 3. Therefore, p is 1 by 3, that is p is 1 by 3. So, we obtained p is 1 by 3. Now, we have to find n. For that, we use the equation of mean. Mean is np. Now, we obtain p is 1 by 3. So, this is n into p is 1 by 3. Now, what is mean? Mean is 3. Therefore, 3 is n into 1 by 3. That is 3 equal to n into 1 by 3 is n by 1 into 1 by 3. N into 1 is n and 1 into 3 is 3. That is 3 is 3 by 1. 3 by 1 is n by 3. That is cross multiply, 3 into 3 is 9 equal to 1 into n is n. So, n is 9. Therefore, n is 9 and p is 1 by 3. Therefore, our distribution follows x follows b. Now, what is n? N is 9 and p is 1 by 3. P is 1 by 3. Therefore, x follows b binomial with parameter 9 and 1 by 3. Now, substitute n equal to 9 and p is 1 by 3 in this equation, we obtain probability mass function. Therefore, p of x is equal to n is 9 cx, p is 1 by 3, therefore 1 by 3 raised to x, q is 2 by 3, 9 minus x, and x equal to 0, 1, 2, etc. up to n. Here n is 9 and equal to 0 otherwise. So, this is the probability distribution of binomial distribution in this case. So, if we given mean and variance, the technique is just find this ratio, variance by mean. This is NPQ divided by NP equal to Q. So, you first get Q and find P, then find N. To get N, you use equation of mean. Mean is NP and substitute P equal to the value and you will get N. So, this is the method of obtaining parameters N and P for a given mean and variance. Okay. Now, let us discuss skewness and kurtosis of binomial distribution. Suppose our distribution is binomial with parameters N and P. Now, we know that the measure of skewness is beta 1 or gamma 1. What is beta 1? Beta 1 is mu 3 square by mu 2 cube and gamma 1 is its root, that is root beta 1. So, the final answer is beta 1 is q minus p square divided by nq and divided by npq, and gamma 1 is its root, that is q minus p divided by root npq. So, you just remember this final answer, gamma 1 is q minus p divided by root npq. Now, a distribution is symmetric if gamma 1 is 0. So, in this case gamma 1 0 means the numerator is 0, that is q minus p equal to 0, that is q equal to p. So, in a binomial distribution, if p equal to q, then distribution is symmetric. So, that we already explained in the earlier example. Now, if gamma 1 is greater than 0, distribution is positively skewed, that means the numerator q minus p greater than 0, that implies q greater than p, and distribution is negatively skewed if q minus p less than 0, that means if q less than p. Next, kurtosis. Kurtosis, the final equation is beta 2 equal to 3 plus 1 minus 6 pq divided by npq and gamma 2 equal to beta 2 minus 3, and the final answer is 1 minus 6 pq divided by npq. Now, the distribution is leptokurtic if gamma 2 greater than 0 and gamma 2 equal to 0, then distribution is mesokurtic, and gamma 2 less than 0, the distribution is platykurtic. And gamma 2 greater than 0 means 1 minus 6 pq is greater than 0, that implies pq is less than 1 by 6. And gamma 2 0 means 1 minus 6 pq equal to 0, that is pq is equal to 1 by 6. Similarly, gamma 2 less than 0 means 1 minus 6 pq less than 0, that implies pq greater than 1 by 6. So, in a binomial distribution, if p into q less than 1 by 6, then it is leptokurtic, and if pq is exactly equal to 1 by 6, then it is mesokurtic, and if pq greater than 1 by 6, then it is platykurtic. These are about skewness and kurtosis. So, in this class we discussed the probability mass function, that is p of x, then mean and variance. Mean is np, variance is npq. What is p of x? P of x is ncx, p raised to x, q raised to n minus x. Then different problems in binomial distribution, then skewness and kurtosis. So, these are the basic details, and you can expect questions like what is binomial distribution or define binomial distribution and explain its uses. So, in this case you just write the probability mass function, then explain mean and variance and explain the situation and explain an example to random experiment of a binomial distribution, etc. So, hope you benefit my class. Thank you.